What's up, YouTube? This is Ignatius Alpha, and I'm here today to talk about a total conversion mod for Spear of Destiny called Spear Resurrection. And for those of you who don't know what Spear of Destiny is actually a prequel to Wolfenstein 3D that came out 5 months after Wolfenstein did. And basically, I'm going to go into a little history here before I launch into my Spear Resurrection videos. I'm going to post some gameplay videos up on here and see how that works, because it's the first time I've ever done this. So call it a little experiment I'm doing, and you guys are going to be part of it. Wolfenstein 3D, if you don't know about it, and if you're one of the 3 people watching this video and don't know about it, it is a game that was made by id Software and published by Apogee Software back in 1992, May of 1992 to be exact. And as far as I'm concerned, if it wasn't for Wolfenstein 3D, we wouldn't have Doom. We wouldn't have Quake, we wouldn't have Half-Life, we wouldn't have any of the first-person shooters we have today, because, you know, a lot of those games came about because of Wolfenstein's 3D success back in the shareware market in 1992. And I don't think retail with computer games was big back then. It was all about the shareware concept, which, if you don't know about that, you basically got the first episode of a game for free, and if you liked it, you bought the rest of them. And I think that was really revolutionary. And one of the big companies that started that was Apogee Software, which published Wolfenstein 3D and sold it. And speaking of Apogee Software and id Software, they're 2 of the companies that really got me into PC gaming back in the early 90s. And what brought this all about is I started playing the id Super Pack on Steam. And if you don't know what Steam is, it's Valve's digital distribution service, and I'm a huge fan of it. And I'll go into more detail about it in later videos, but so far I've played Wolfenstein 3D. I recently replayed that again. I replayed Spear of Destiny, and I also started on the Commander Keen series for the first time, which is really fun, but I'm going to put my focus on Wolfenstein in this video. Wolfenstein 3D, if you haven't played it, it was 6 episodes, 10 levels in each episode, 1 level in each episode being a secret level. The first 3 episodes, as it was released, you star as B.J. Blazkowicz, who has to escape from Castle Wolfenstein. And basically, this game was brought about by motivation for the old Castle Wolfenstein and Beyond Castle Wolfenstein games from the early 80s. And the first episode, you get captured by the Nazis doing some covert work for the Allies, discovering plans for Operation Eisenfaust, which is episode 2. And after you escape from Castle Wolfenstein, you go into Operation Eisenfaust, which is episode 2, and you have to fight this mutant army Dr. Scabs has created, and you go through that. And then in episode 3, you finally face Adolf Hitler himself. The next 3 episodes are actually the Nocturnal missions, which were kind of an add-on pack. Like right when Wolfenstein first came out, you had to mail order them as extra missions when it first launched, because it was just the first 3 episodes at the time. And those episodes 4, 5, and 6 are actually a prequel to episodes 1, 2, and 3, where BJ has to stop this chemical warfare planning that the Nazis are doing. So it was kind of fun. Then 5 months later, in September of 1992, id Software released Spear of Destiny, which was like one of their first entries into the retail market, along with episode 6 of Commander Keen, Aliens Ate My Babysitter. But Spear of Destiny was more of the same. It had new bosses, it had a new storyline, it had new music, and I think that's where the differences end. It was really more of the same. It was more streamlined. It only had 1 episode of about 21 levels, 2 of them being secret levels. And for those of you who've played it and played to the end of it, the end had a really, like, Doom is on the way vibe, you know. And for those of you who haven't played it, I'm not going to spoil it. And Spear of Destiny, the story behind that was you have to go into a new castle and you have to wrestle the Spear of Destiny from Adolf Hitler's clutches, because with the spear he thinks he's invincible and everything, and you're going to push him psychologically over the edge if you go in and capture the spear, which he does. But then after Spear of Destiny came out, and after Doom came out in 1994, FormGen, who published Spear of Destiny for the retail market, released these horrible fucking mission packs known as Return to Danger and Ultimate Challenge, and they're just absolutely terrible. I just played through Return to Danger a couple days ago, and I went through it in 3 days. I played all the levels, and it's just no fun at all. The level design is absolutely terrible. It's the strange thing is, it's like one of those horrible mods you'd find online, like horrible, like amateurish level packs you'd find online for free. And Spear Resurrection and Spear End of Destiny, which I'm going to go into a little detail about, those are free, and those should be the official mission packs and not these. These are like horrible amateur level packs you'd find on like a GeoCities site somewhere. They're fucking terrible. You know, I don't even know where to begin. Like, there's no new weapons. There's a few new enemies, like the mutants are replaced with mutant bats with chain guns on their feet, which is kind of neat, I guess, but they're more annoying than cool, so. And there's new bosses, but there's really no storyline to it. They didn't change the ending. They didn't change the ending screens at all, so it feels like you just went through it for absolutely nothing. So I don't recommend it. And if you buy Spear of Destiny on Steam, they have these 2 mission packs. I would just, avoid them and pretend they're not there like me. Or what I'm doing is you can pretend Spear Resurrection and Spear End of Destiny, which I'm going to talk about, are the official mission packs, because they're 100 times better. But about the mission packs that Forum Gen released, my main complaint about them is the level design. There's levels in there where you have to get through the level by using only push walls. If you try and use normal doors, there's like walls blocking the doors, and there's mazes with very narrow hallways that are no fun to navigate at all. There's horrible wall textures that'll make your fucking eyes bleed. And it's just way more frustration, and it's way more confusing than it has to be. It's ridiculous. So about Spear Resurrection and Spear End of Destiny, they're totally free. They're free mods made by a guy who calls himself RIP, and another guy who programmed the game known as MCS Amsterdam. And if you don't know about them, I've provided links on this YouTube page to the right under the description, so check them out. And basically Spear Resurrection picks up where Spear of Destiny left off. You got the spear from Adolf's clutches, the Axis army is crumbling and everything. So the story goes, Hitler is in his bunker in Germany with his most trusted covert soldier and master of disguise known as Grau Adler. And he basically gives Grau Adler 2 major missions before Adolf Hitler's dead, because he says within the hour he's going to be dead, and Grau Adler's in charge of carrying out his last orders, which are taking this parcel to a castle in Spain where the rest of the Nazi army is hiding out that fled Germany, and to recapture the spear, which they know is in a British warehouse for safekeeping. How they know that, I don't know. But so Grau Adler waits till sunrise, takes off to the Spanish castle with the parcel in a little container that, when he shakes it, it feels like there's gravel inside, but the story actually hints that it's actually the cremated remains of Adolf Hitler. So he goes to the castle, and then a month or 2 later, the spear mysteriously disappears from the British warehouse, and it turns out it was from a British corporal or whatever, that there was no record of him, and it turns out it was Grau Adler all along, and he stole the spear and he took it back to the castle. And then your allied friend, who actually poses a Nazi refugee near the castle, and he brought back info to you and your allies, but the allied organization or whatever doesn't care because they think it's just an unfortunate theft. But only you and your little allied spy friend know what power the spear really holds, so you have to go in and get the spear back from them before something bad happens. And what the whole basis is, why is it called Spear Resurrection, is they're trying to resurrect Hitler through his remains, and they think that, on top of all the other powers the spear has, it can also resurrect the dead. So you have to go back in and take the spear back from them. And I'll go into a little more detail of it in the next video since I'm out of time on here, but I just wanted to provide a little backstory about the Wolfenstein series and everything, and we'll go into a little more detail as the videos go on. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned.